Welcome back, guys, to the This Is Much More podcast. I'm Evelyn, and my handsome co-host is
Rollie Vogues.
and our special guest today is Ice.
Welcome, Icebox.
Welcome. Wait, did you
Icebox.
tell her about
The what?
her art? Did she see it already or no?
Did you see the art in the room? Yeah.
Yeah,
You remember that?
Yeah, that's when I was living in my old apartment.
I think it has like 2016 on it.
Yeah, and I made like a Susie doll. I think I did that's when I was doing all the cartoon type shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw it.
Because I think you
my
did a
lines
giveaway.
suck. Yes, I remember. My lines suck. Oh, look, and you can see I painted over Tommy Pickles in the back.
Let me
You
see.
it?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
he looks all stoned. Little stone baby. Wow.
That was a whole vibe behind that, like stone cartoons or what?
I think it was it was
You about to cry?
no, I'm just trying to think what was the purpose. I just wanted to get into the art game,
Mm-hmm.
and then I wanted people to familiarize with what I was painting, and cartoons was like the easiest thing. Like that's the type of shit I was already doodling, and so the first painting I did was of somebody in cartoon form with mad shrooms in their mouth, blunts and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an actual photo of them. And then from there, my first show was all the cartoon stuff. So I did my show 2 years after this. And it was a lot of cartoons, remix shit. So.
And how does that work whenever you do shows? Like, do you just put your art out there and then people come and...
So it takes a lot of scribbling, writing down, a lot of research. I feel like sometimes it's the actual shows, I guess kind of like throwing a wedding. It's you do all this planning and then it's the wedding's for a night, and that's how the actual art shows are. But yeah, I'm prepping for the art probably happens a year in advance. Me just making shit. Eventually I want to incorporate a show, but the show isn't the goal. It's just me accumulating art.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point I'm planning it. And it's a good support system too behind it, because my mom was doing my merch. And then my brothers got friends in the art game and they're helping me out on their end. And then it just kind of flourishes into something really nice.
Yeah.
And you get to display your shit. People show up and it ends up bigger than you expected, because you're beating yourself up.
Yeah.
for a long time, and
Yeah,
then
you
just
want
for
to find a
that
nice
one.
spot. Everything is curated, and everything. I write everything down. I write ideas, dates. I'm really big about if I write something down, it says where I'm at, the date, the time, the what coast am I in, down to the T, so I know that's when I had that idea, that's when I had that thought, and I'm putting it in this binder,
Yeah.
or this folder or whatever. But yeah.
So 2016 is when you started, pretty much, or what? Or there was
No,
a
I
little
started
before that.
painting. So I've always doodled, and in high school I was doing the posters, the pep rally posters. My cheer coach was always "Oh, do posters."
You were a cheerleader, right?
Yeah, I was a captain.
You were the captain?
Yeah. Yeah, I was a captain. I would do all the pep rallies. So I was with the mic,
Yeah.
"What's up, everybody? Get on your feet." And then, yeah, I was the hype man, I guess, for the pep rallies. But yeah, everything had to do with posters. They wanted posters
Yeah,
everywhere. So I'm over here making shit, getting my cheer teammates, oh, we're going to do these markers and rhinestones and mixed mediums and shit. Not realizing oh, I had fun doing this. Fast forward, in high school, I'd always fucking doodle on my pants, on my hands, everywhere. 2013 is when someone hit me up. "Oh, can you paint this?" And then I made a quick $350 on that. And then when I did the exchange with that person, they were "Oh, I would have paid you $500 or a little bit more." But I didn't negotiate that business side of it.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
know any better. $350 for a painting that I just fucking did in a day. What?
Yeah.
And then when I saw I made that money, it kind of
inspired you or motivated you?
Yeah, because I was like, oh shit, like I have fun doing this. You know, I get stoned, like get deep into a painting, turn around and put a price on it, and someone saw my worth. All right, let me, you know, keep going and see what happens. Eventually, I started doing the cartoon shit.
Yeah.
And then I'm at work one day. I started working at a restaurant in like 2017.
Sudden pause.
2018. And I'm behind the host stand, like on the do pads, doodling shit again, dating everything. And I drew this guy with eyeballs. He had 8 balls as eyeballs, and he had like a Fendi printed nose and like a weird fucking mouth and spiky hair. And I kind of looked at him and I'm like, you the character that's gonna put me on. Like, you weird looking dude. Like,
Yeah.
I hit up my brother. I sent him a picture. I'm like, yeah, I think this is like the character. Like, and I can probably find it. But I was like, this is the dude that like I'm gonna incorporate into everything. Yeah. And then from there, it was like all the weird smiley faces and all of that shit. And then it just flourished into whatever the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah, because I feel like when I see that, I automatically think of you. Like, you know the image, right? El Monito.
I mean, I think I would have to
It's
see
like,
it.
yeah, I feel like
it's
once
just
you
like
see it, like,
it's a series of different like faces. Like, I don't even know what they are. Just exaggerated features, and they're really not people, but more so things. And I don't know. That's just what I draw. I don't know. Everything started with the circle, and I'm still trying to figure out like everything. The base of everything that I had drawn back then was a circle, like just round things, and yeah. But that's where it started, and then the art shows, and then I threw the show in Houston at Ronin. Yeah, Ronin Art Studio, and my first show was in Brooklyn. So
the first actual show, like, well, what do you mean?
One that I had curated, and like a friend of mine had fucking DJ Vic flown out, and then like mad friends from Houston had shown up, so I had like that New York side, and you know, all my friends in Queens, Brooklyn, Harlem like show up, and then my friends in Houston actually flying out, and then friends spinning, you know, Houston shit in New York. It was like, in my head, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that's wild.
It was like a clash of like two of my worlds in like the best way possible, and everyone's like just being so supportive, and my Houston friends don't know my New York friends, so they're like meeting each other, and it was beautiful.
So so is that usually how you showcase your art, like with shows, or you do digital shit too?
So as far as like physical work, I want to take up space. I appreciate the digital aspects of it. Like I got my 2-year in digital design and animation. Like, I like being on my iPad. I like learning software, but it's something about, I want my art to live in like physical spaces at this point, that I feel like, yeah, as far as like displaying my shit, I want it in a space, you know, like I want to take a spot and like insert my shit in there. And I look back on my other 2 shows, and the gap from the last one I did to now, it's getting bigger, but it's because I'm like getting pickier with what I want to do with it, and where I want to take it, and what I want to attract, you know, as far as like I kind of look back at my merch. I get a lot of people asking me, oh, when are you going to drop shirts? And it's even that, like, I want to, like, it's boiling down to like, and it's almost holding me back in a sense, you know, because I'm kind of like throwing that, where's the risking it at? Where's the throwing fear out the window? And it's like, forget the imposter syndrome. So it's almost, it's hitting that fine line of like, all right, you ain't got to curate that much, and you should just do it. But yeah, that's a point where I'm at, where I'm like, I wanted to live differently in different spaces, and I still enjoy the digital world. So that's where that comes in, where I don't know if you had seen my story, but I had put a series of my animations, and I had said, oh, I want this to live in an animated exhibit, you know, like if I were to find a spot I can rent and just have these projections off of everything, like plexiglass hanging from the ceiling, like a fabric sheet hanging off the wall, like a fucking couch with a small projection on it, like you can sit down. Like that's how deep I want to go with this shit. So yeah, it's borderline fear and resources. Like, what am I gonna do? So, damn,
man, that's a lot of like thought process.
it is. And then I'm like trying to survive, trying to eat and trying to make sure I don't lose my space in New York.
Yeah,
you know, fly home when I gotta fly home, buy weed. You know,
so
the necessities,
and, you know, have a social life too, because I don't like, you know, being alone with my thoughts like that. And it's all, everything kind of all mushes in together, you know, like I'm painting to escape something and it gets all fucking deep that I'm like, yeah, I need to go out and have like a little social life a little bit.
So would you consider yourself like an introvert or extrovert?
Omnivert.
What's that?
It's like
everything, right?
Everything situational, like house of space, you know, like is it an inviting space? Like are you know, like, you know what I'm saying? No, like some days I'm social, some days I'm not. Some days I want to be in my room all day and I get invited places, and then other days I'm like, we out. What are we doing? You know, it's Thursday.
Dang, I had never heard of that.
Okay, Omni?
Yeah.
I know Omni because of Omni King from Dragon Ball Super. Like the god of everything or whatever. But yeah, that's some crazy. So so your sources of income then come from art strictly?
No, it comes from everything.
You still work a job and everything or what?
So I was coat checking for like 2 days a week while it was cold, and that's fun because, you know, I was working with all my friends from like the industry, you know, like everyone in New York kind of knows each other. And my manager's mad cool. And so if I ever need cash, like, oh, I just need bread real quick, hit him up like, yo, do you have a gig? Like, can you help me out? Whatever. So I was doing that, but cold season's over, so that's over. But I'm actually contracted with a company called Paper Plus Rocket, and it's a Brooklyn-based company. So I do graphic design work for them. We just finished a documentary called Racist Roots, and it's for a nonprofit that's trying to get rid of death row.
Oh, okay.
In North Carolina, I believe. So we did I was helping out with graphics, After Effects, that type of stuff. And so, yeah, I do that. And then, yeah, my art stuff, my personal stuff, I just incorporated like the tattooing in there now.
How's that going?
That shit's intense.
For real?
Know? Yeah.
It's different. Like I feel like
I'm like, I'll squeeze my forehead.
I feel like I'd be able to like get a good be good at it.
Damn,
yeah, like I feel like I'd be good at it, but I don't know.
At tattooing?
Yeah. But
wait, so you do it while you're like high, right?
So I did. Okay, so let me tell you why I started doing it. I wanted finger tats, and I've gone to like tattoo shops, and they're like, no.
Why?
Because your finger, like these shits will be gone in a month, and then you're going back like, why did my it's you're avoiding a headache, you know, because you can't explain. Some people are gonna get it, some people won't. Why are my tattoos fading? Well, your skin sheds more here. You wash your hands, you get it wet. You got to shower, it touches everything. And so I was like, well, I can draw, you know. My cousin Baby Smiley tattoos himself. My dad tattooed his knee, you know. Like, I'm like, it's kind of in my blood, I guess. And I really want these fucking finger tats. So I ordered a gun, like a cheap-ass gun. And I was like, started with dots. And then I jumped to the A. And then I did the Q. And then I was like, I'm going to put Icebox in the middle. And like, that's my Instagram name. Fuck it. AQ Icebox.
Well, tell them why AQ.
Amanda Quintanilla. That's my name.
Yeah, for those that don't
don't Google me.
Yeah, for those that because probably people are gonna be like, well, why does she have the A and the Q?
Oh yeah, my name's Amanda Quintanilla, Quintanilla. I don't know if I'm related to Selena. I hope I am. But yeah, AQ Icebox, and then that led to me doing this. Moon was initially gonna be a flower, and then that led to me doing this little weird crystal. Then it led to this naked lady with no face.
You did those?
You did those?
Yeah.
Let me see the lady.
She had her titties out.
I like the little
Wow,
Y.
I'm looking at the camera.
Oh my god.
What'd you say?
I like the Y. How you
Oh,
incorporated a letter right there.
Then I did the lighter, and then I did this like pot with like, I was just trying to practice, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
And
wild.
yeah, I did like this crystal, all this shit, and then I did this. This is still healing. It's like a Virgin Mary, I guess, but then upside down, it's like a skull in a desert.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Dang. Let me see it upside down. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was
Wow.
practicing on myself.
But are you now? You're taking people?
Yeah.
Because he said you were tattooing right now before
Yeah.
coming, right?
Yeah, I did my first Icebox tattoo. They got the weird little
for real?
Icebox smiley face. Yeah. And so that was the whole point. I was like, I'm going to start this shit and I'm going to do flash tattoos where I
Yeah.
just create sheets. I take, 2 people per design, and that's when it's cut off, and kind of go from there.
Like a limited
You pick it, we stick it.
Yeah.
Kind of like,
Hey,
hey, you know what I'm saying?
well, they have that, right? Already?
Yeah, it's like a little tattoo shop, I guess.
Yeah.
You heard of it?
Yeah, I've been there before.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. I
What?
want to say they actually did my nose piercing.
For real?
They did my
They did
sister.
the second one because the first one got fucked up and they had to re-pierce it because I fell asleep and I lost the thing. I don't know all this shit. But yeah.
So, how many people have you tattooed?
I tattooed him.
Tell them who's behind the camera.
Oh, my friend, my bad.
They're gonna be like, who?
Yeah, you're pointing at the camera.
The people are gonna be like, me.
Yeah.
Oh, my friends here. Yeah, but just my friends mainly, and then friends back in New York. My friend Drizzy let me use her as like a notepad, basically. She's like, just tattoo this on me, and this on me, and this on me.
Yeah.
And I guess when it's your friends, they kind of trust you. So they're like, yeah, just doodle on me. But me, they don't know that I'm about to break out in hives over here. I don't want to fuck you up. And then if it is fucked up, don't tell them I did it.
You're putting the date and the time and everything. You're there.
She's writing it down.
Yeah, I'm putting it in my note. It's in my notepad already.
Wait, so but is it easy now that you've done a few people just to do a super basic tattoo?
Yeah, I mean,
what's your price range? Or you just do it depending on what it is?
Really, I mean, it's cheap, but to me, I'm like, are people gonna pay this? The small tattoos up to 2 inches, $40. So 3 to 5 is 80, and then 150 and up is a bigger tattoo, right?
Yeah.
But everything boils down to supplies. That's why people charge. This shit's fucking expensive. Me overnighting basic things, I just needed things replaced. It was $97 just overnight. Something to get ready for another tattoo,
Yeah.
So you go through doing so many free tattoos that at some point you're like, you got to build your confidence enough to start charging.
Or what would be what I know that a lot of people do when they're starting up something new, they'll just be like, I won't charge you for the service, or just cover the supplies or something.
Yeah, tips appreciated.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
So right now, do you still have supplies to do more tattoos?
Yeah. I read up 2 days ago, I think, because my uncle too wants to get a H-Town skyline on him, and my other uncle wants to cover up with a rocket tattoo, and I'm like, damn. So I'm getting good practice, because I'm you get what you pay for if you think it looks like shit.
So that's what you want to end up doing?
No.
Or you're just doing it on the side
I
type
need
shit?
money to
to eat, babe. She needs money
Oh
to
shit! I
eat.
forgot.
Money to
Fucking
eat
essential
and live.
supplies
She
and all
needs
that.
to
No,
She's
but I
taking
want
her
if I want to
essential stuff.
paint, if I want to stay home and paint
Yeah.
and do the shit I want to do, then I need to find a means of income that's going to get me that. I know how to draw. A tattoo gun, I'll learn how to use it. And then I start charging people. I come up with a solid business plan. Soon enough, I'll have a studio where I can do whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything starts.
Somewhere. Yeah.
You know?
Honestly, I think it's
Yeah.
a good idea, the whole doing your art on a sheet and saying hey, I only have 2 of these. Who wants them?
Yeah, the flash tats.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
and you don't even have to charge a lot. And I've gotten flash tattoos from people you just make a decent price list that somebody's gonna book it all up, and whatever you're comfortable with charging.
How much do you think he's paid for like all his tattoos?
It's just my arm.
Well, yeah, it's just his arm, but
You went to a shop?
Yeah, I went to a shop.
I'm gonna say for your arm, like 6.
Nah, that's way more.
Way more?
Way more.
Okay, I don't know.
Like 1,000 plus.
Oh, lit.
Yeah.
See?
But
People make bread out
but
here.
it's only like one guy, right? Beto?
yeah, Beto. Shout out Beto. It's
And,
a private studio, but fucking, yeah. It was a lot.
Yeah,
And that
'cause
bitch hurt like the elbow.
My cousin that had put me on, he did this, but you know, he was on his prison shit with like the tattooing, like he would tattoo homies in there or whatever, and you know, he did this tattoo on me. It's real special to me, and just, you know, seeing him do it and him give me the advice, I'm like, all right, like so many people have let him tattoo.
let me see it.
It's one of my faces. It's a crazy ass.
Oh, I see. Those are the eyes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They
I
kinda-
can, I relate those with you too.
Yeah, the weird eyes. I was gonna say something so inappropriate. I was gonna say they look like little peepees now. Look at them upside down. But yeah. But my cousin had put me on. Like he passed away back in December. But now I'm like, now it's almost to a point where I'm like, oh, I kind of want to keep it going in his honor, and I'm making bread off of it. You know, like people are trusting me enough to where, you know, I just need to keep practicing, keep watching videos, keep doing. It's like learning anything with your rugs, dude. Make a sheet too. Put designs on there. Fucking like, I don't know. You just gotta like, or even like doing your rugs and fucking doing like wall installations, having like creepy shit and like fucking do an art show. You know, like there's so many different things you can do.
I have an idea. I want to do like a 20-foot rug, like a big ass rug.
Microdose mushrooms and then touch furry walls, but it's like carpets designed by Rollie Vogues. Rolling in your fucking eyes, touching walls. You know, like there's so many ideas. You can fucking pitch that to like Coachella. Have an installation there. You're just touching rugs.
That's true.
That is true. Have you ever pitched anything to anybody?
I want to. I want to do a skateboard, like maybe like a half pipe, like just spray paint some shit. Maybe do a basketball court. I researched like Coachella shit, but you really have to be like deep in the installation game to get one of theirs. Like you need to be like the people they be picking are like
Kind of trash or what?
older white people, you know, like that are deep in that like contemporary art world, and they're just like have the backing for it. I'm like,
You know, you're making all these face expressions and like the camera is literally just like facing you.
that's how I talk, guys.
It's gonna make some good reels.
No, yeah.
I'm gonna sink into the couch. Behind the mic.
You can use the
My
pillow.
bad.
A lot of the people like to.
Yeah, they just hug on the pillow and shit.
Bro, at first he was like, why the pillows?
And
I'm
I'll get
just
rid
like,
of them, but
I feel like it just gives people comfort or something.
Oh, it hides my lung.
They say that too.
yeah, they say that too, right? It's fucking true. It's about to go off. You want to go on a quick break?
Yeah. We'll be back, guys.
Sir.
And
my
we are
stomach?
back. Huh? Your stomach hurts?
I said, what if my stomach growls? Will it pick
Yeah,
up
yeah,
that?
it'll probably pick it up.
Oh, okay.
Nah, maybe.
Wait,
Nah.
it did it to somebody, yeah.
No, to you.
Oh.
Yeah, because Terry's like, oh, there goes your stomach.
Oh, yeah, he did. Oh, because he didn't have the headphones either.
Because all his was early, so we hadn't ate breakfast.
Yeah, his was early.
Now, we had an early ass podcast this morning. Like,
Yeah, this is our second podcast today. Just because, like, our son, they took him to go watch, like, the Disney on Ice, you know, with his, like, godfather and, like, Tia or whatever. But
yeah.
my cousin just texted me, which my cousin is his godfather, and he's like, he saw Goofy and was like, Mommy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yo, but yeah, so we haven't slept. Man, I took a little nap earlier. You know what happened? Yo, we had just ate, and then and I had my soda and shit, and I was like this, and we were watching TV, and I kind of like dozed off, I woke up. I don't know how long it had been.
I don't know how. I don't even I wasn't
I
paying
don't know.
attention.
I woke up and I'm like, holy shit. And then I was all wet. Like I had like tilted the soda all on me. Like my whole shirt, my stomach, my underwear and shit. Everything was wet as fuck. I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, yo, and I couldn't find you. I don't know where you were.
This was your dream still.
My son was next to me like, Papi, like wake up or some shit. I don't know. And I'm
I
like,
thought my son had woken him up because I could hear him say "papi, papi."
and I'm like, what
But
the
then
fuck?
I
I
see
spilled
him
my
and
whole
he's
drink
like-
on me. Like,
Looking, and I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "I think I peed myself."
yeah, I'm like, I pee myself. What the fuck? Like, I'm like, holy shit. That shit was wild.
But what was the question that you
Oh,
had?
on a serious note. No, so it's like, I was going to ask, like, what makes an artist a good artist? What? Okay, I'll skip the question.
No.
Nah.
I just expected you to be like, so have you ever peed your pants? What makes an artist a good artist?
Yeah.
In your opinion?
In my opinion. Shit.
Cause, all right, cause
No, it's a deep question.
Yeah,
I was
it
gonna
is,
ask
it is,
her.
it
You're
is,
asking
because-
her a
I think
deep-ass
somebody who
question.
takes their craft seriously, like if it
Yeah.
pertains to some sort of creation of something and you take that seriously and you're not doing it just for the sole purpose of like, what am I gonna gain from this? You know, do it because you want to, then I respect you as an artist. You know, if you call yourself one and you pull up with the work, then you're an artist, you know,
yeah.
in any form.
So under
I
like,
agree.
yeah, like sub to that, like, do you think you have to know, you think you have to have knowledge of like art, like in a sense of like not history itself, but like just, I don't know. I feel like,
Well,
do you have to know who
if-
Michelangelo or some shit like is to be an
Like
artist?
if you go to the museums and you're like, oh, that's
I mean-
this type of art, or
I mean, you learn that. I learned that shit in school
Yeah.
because I was kind of, you know, I researched the artists that I wanted to. You know, it's not like I was looking for like Rauschenberg, which I fucking just bought a Rauschenberg fucking book, and because I saw his stuff I think I was at the MoMA, and I was like, oh, this man, and I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his name right. He uses mixed mediums. I want to get into mixed mediums. And I happened to be with one of my professors at that time because we're designing a book, an alumni book for our design program. And me and another designer are doing it together. So I'm meeting up with them. We're gaining inspiration by having meetings in spaces outside of Zoom, you know. So we're walking around talking about the book. Oh, look how this is laid out. And I didn't know who that artist was. Now I'm learning about the artist. I was so intrigued with the artist that I went to the store afterwards and I bought a book of his because I wanted to know where he came from and why would he match, you know, a box of matches to something, or why would he, you know, take paint samples from like a Home Depot or a hardware store and just put them in, you know, why? Why are you doing that? So I wanted to learn, you know, like, if you don't know, at least have the wanting to find out, you know. If you're gonna go into something seriously, you're gonna do research, and with research comes something after something after something that leads you to all these different people. I didn't learn about, you know, Dada, Bauhaus, you know, like I didn't learn about all these different design things until I was in school, and my professors, you know, were like, there's eras to this shit. You know, there's Art Deco. There's, you know, these different artists that started these different waves, these fonts that you use, which if you, I don't know if you're a self-taught designer, if you went to school, but they tell you like these fonts are named after the people that designed them. They come from their last names, you know, leading and shit, the space between words and screen printing back then when they were making newspapers. Leading is the lead that they put in between each sentence, and that's what gave you space in between things when you're printing. You know, like you learn about that shit as you go, and if it sparks interest, cool.
Yeah.
You know, but it's nothing that I don't think people are gonna dive into, it just kind of happens. And I don't ever hold that to people's neck. If you fuck with art and you want to see it, cool. If you go to a museum, you wanted to go see something, and when you're staring at that shit, you're reading the little card on the side and you learn about it there.
Yeah, I feel like it's at that point where you're intrigued and you want to know about it.
And who's G-checking? Like, who's going to G-check you enough to the point where they're like, what do you know? Yeah. Like, why do you care? You know?
Yeah, because I never went to a design school. I wanted to, and but I feel like I never went. I don't go to museums a lot, But I feel like my art form is very different. It's like my interests kind of go more into the like modern urban like type of art,
Yeah.
And
but yours is more like not like physical, like how she was saying.
Yeah, it's not.
But it could be like, when I see your rugs and I'm like, I think I touched this whole like 3 or 4 times before we even started, and I'm like, oh shit. But then that's like, damn, like, how to make rugs.
Yeah.
All it would take is like you finding shapes and like sticking that shit on, like, and people have exhibitions for anything, Yeah. I've seen, it was a really fucking dope installation, but it was an outfit just laid out on the floor, in the middle of a room, but it had a story behind it. But just imagine like a carpet wall, like,
because what's crazy, like what I know, I don't go to a lot of things, like I don't physically go to pop-ups. I don't go out like that, but I want to, but I don't really do it. But I know that when you see things in person or it's set up a certain way, it kind of attracts attention, or it attracts like people to want to go see and shit. So it's like this rug, I kind of like have it like just here, But I feel like if we were to like give it that space, or give it that like, okay, you can't walk past this, but you can view it from here, I feel like it'll give people like, down, like, I don't know, it sparks some interest, or it makes it feel more important, and it gives it like this pedestal.
Well, that's where that's where I talk about like, like taking something more seriously. Like if you really fucking were to look at your rugs and be like, the potential I can go with this. People don't have to just step on this. Yeah. I can make a fucking table out of carpets and have like a whole carpet installation where it's like a whole living room just made out of different carpet shapes that I made. And like the pillows are the fucking shavings and leftover yarn that I had. And it's possible. You just got to find the fucking spark in whatever you're doing. This could be contemporary. It could live in a space if you turned it into something. Yeah.
No, yeah, I agree.
So
no, yeah, because he is starting to like do the exclusive ones.
Yeah.
Like, where it's gonna be considered not somebody hiring him to do it. It's gonna be like his art, but in the rugs. Yeah.
Because I'm kind of over the whole commission shit, So
that's where I'm at too.
Yeah.
You get tired of fucking doing what people want you to do.
Yeah. And it's cool sometimes, but it's like, damn, like I don't want to do this shit. Like I'd rather do my thing, like the shit I like. Cause I'm like coming out with like some barber posters. Like, you seen those barber posters?
Yes,
like
with the different
cuts. I want the number 2, I'm coming out with my own, right? So it's like I did a Latino version, and then I did a Houston one, which is like all the Houston artists, old and new, and but I'm gonna drop. I want the actual posters printed out, and that way, because nobody redid that shit, nobody's done it. So it's like, and it's been an idea I've had for years already, and I finally did it, I finished it. But shit like that is where I feel like my creativity went towards. Instead of like, nobody would commission me, hey man, can you do a barber poster for me? It's just some shit that I'm like, I kind of want to do that, Yeah.
So let me ask y'all, because I consider both of y'all like artists. Like the ways I agreed with you with the whole, when do you consider somebody an artist? I feel like it's like you said, when you see somebody like, whenever they're doing it because it's their passion and they're like really all about it, right? And I feel like that about both of y'all. So you agreed with him about the commission stuff, right? What do you think got you to the point that you didn't want to take any commissions? Is it because when people would pay you, they asked you for like corny shit that you were like, this is not what I'm doing.
Somebody called me their artist.
Really?
Like, oh, that's my artist right there, like that.
Yeah. Like, I like did something for them. They had tagged me in some shit and they called me their artist. Which is not, it doesn't sound bad on surface, but I felt like somebody held some sort of like, I
ownership
can ask
over
you to design anything and you will type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And a reason why I don't do logo design. I get paid an X amount of money through a firm already that contracts me for jobs that are gonna pay. Yeah. That's why I don't do I already done got that part taken care of, the design part, the digital shit. Mm-hmm. Whatever digital shit I make is Icebox stuff.
Yeah.
Because I took care of that income. I finished school, got the contracted job that I fucking worked hard for, whatever. The painting shit, that's my therapy. Like, that's my, I'm painting for passion and eventually it'll pay, you know? Because I'm just going to work and create and paint things and just do shit like that. It leads to art residencies. It leads to, like, the shit I want to. And then I need something that's going to fund my life. The little odd jobs, the fucking coat check here and there, picking up tattooing and doing things like that, getting quick money and just trying to save and making sure I'm getting paid from the contracting positions and creating things like doing now I get to take time with my art is what I'm saying. But I have to secure everything in between. I can't do no free shit no more. And you draw that boundary and it sucks because you go like months not being able to spend what you want to spend, not being able to eat where you want to eat, sometimes not eating, sometimes fucking jumping turnstiles, fucking putting $2 of gas. Like you go through that grimy fucking process, but I've set my boundaries and you're going to come with respect, whether you know if I'm making money or not. Yeah. You're going to come correct. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to have to come correct with my finances on my end and figure everything out in between to make sure that I can stay home and wake up stay up till 4 a.m. painting and wake up, get a coffee, smoke a blunt and, like do it, go fucking chill with my friend and do what I want to do. And you come correct. And it sucks because then you lose out. People start looking at you like, all right, you don't do that, but you did this the other day. Yeah, because you don't got to know the back end of it, and that's where you weed out your clientele.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's exactly where I'm at.
Yeah, because like you're saying, it's the same like with us. Sometimes it's really hard because I see him like obviously work. I don't think anybody is gonna know how hard he works except for like me, because I see it.
Yeah.
And he stays up so late sometimes that I would like catch him like in his office and like he's like knocked the fuck out like on his chair, and I feel so bad sometimes, and I'm just like, babe, just go to the room or whatever. And then he's like, okay. And then I go and sometimes he just moves to the floor because he's so tired.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like stretch out and I'm out,
Dude, and it's like, you gotta have a story as an artist. Like, isn't that our cliche fucking like, starving artist? But it's a real fucking thing.
Yeah.
Falling asleep. I've woken up with keypad things from my laptop, like prints on your face, paints all over my sheet. I live with 3 people. I live in Harlem, a 4-bedroom in Harlem. Mm-hmm. We're all grinding to chasing something out there. And it comes with that dirty fucking nails, like dirty this, like beautiful.
Because I just talked about that on our podcast. How I used to think to myself like, okay, so I paint with I'm a painter, right? With my dad, and I work with my dad at his job, his business and shit. So we paint residential shit or commercial or whatever, and his shit is from like 7 a.m. all the way to like sometimes 5 p.m., 6 p.m., But then I show up.
That's a lot of numbers. I'm not doing the math.
But But I always end up coming home like dusty from sanding walls or full of paint type shit, you know. And I'm like, damn, like, and I was telling her, I was like, I feel like I get home and I'm like, all right, I have from 7 p.m. to the rest of the day to shower and be well dressed without having all this paint on me. I always felt dirty, you know what I mean? And in a way, at some point, I started looking at like painting and shit. I started looking at it like art in a way, because at first I was just like, man, it's fucking labor ass work, you know, like gotta paint this shit, whatever. But then I'm like, damn, it's cool how we're painting like a gray, dirty ass house into like this bright white or some shit, and it's just like seeing the colors like go over that and then just take over type shit.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, damn, like, so the paint, like I wear my Apple Watch to work. That bitch is full of paint, like full of paint. I'm just like, damn, I need to take better care of this watch. But I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. You know, it's who I am. It's what I'm doing, you know. And do you know Joshua Vides?
No.
He's you ever seen those art installations where it kind of looks like a comic book? It's like he paints everything white and then black.
Yes. I'm lying.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
He and people try to duplicate that shit
they do.
all the time.
But
Yes,
I
know who he is.
He's always
Yo,
telling me like,
he's
oh,
a fucking goat. He's like one of my like art idols, whatever.
Everything's
you know?
white and it's like looks like black marker, just trimmed out of everything, like
everything.
paper.
He's done like coffee shops. He's done like vans, a lot of van shit. He's done like BMW collabs. He's a big artist,
dude. And he started his shit popped like in a blink of an eye almost.
I think it started with some forces or something. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And but anyway, like, okay, because I told another story. These are my first ones that I've ever had, ever in my life, right? So I'm just like, damn, I want some ones and shit. And then, but I always felt like being so dirty or full of paint, like I felt like I would never be able to like, not rock them, but just like, I'm like, damn, when am I going to wear them?
Turn them into beaters.
So yeah, so exactly. So then I see Joshua Vides and he's always painting. All the pictures he posts, he wears Carhartts and shit. They're always full of paint. His cargos are full of paint.
Dude, and there's like luxury brands dropping
that are doing that shit, right?
Dropping sweaters that look like, you know, what we wear to work, to painting and shit, and they're upcharging that shit.
Yeah.
You think they got an artist to stand there and paint? No, they got somebody to maybe splat some shit by hand or a machine that's doing that shit. But when you're actually living in it, fuck yeah, turn them hoes into beaters. Get your shirts dirty. This shirt, this motherfucker, this shit's like what I paint in, literally, and I have holes and shit in it. It's one of my favorite shirts.
But why did you point at him?
Because he's like, maybe you should change your shirt. And I was like, fuck you.
I was gonna wear that jean shirt that I have. That's all full of paint. I was gonna
show her.
I'll bring it up.
Yeah.
But then after I saw that, I saw him and I was like, man, like I don't give a fuck. Like it's just how it is. He shows up to spaces like that. I should show up to spaces like that. It's just who I am that way. So sometimes I don't need, like, I wash my hands and shit, and when I shower, try to get all the paint off. But sometimes
it lives on your skin for a minute. Yeah. I still have some
right now.
Do not let my son see you, because he'll literally call you all out.
We're like, oh, he's dirty.
I'll be like, you're dirty.
Nah, he'll just be going back, and he'll probably say, I know dirty, you dirty. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Okay, I'll go wash my hands.
Because I let him paint like a lot of this, like, you know, at the dollar store where there's so like the little ceramic things, and then it comes with the paint stuff.
Yeah,
he loves doing all that. Oh, I was gonna say I have the dinosaur, but I don't have it in here. But before I forget, you know what you should do? Because you're like, you said installations, right? That's what they're called. Like for pop-ups and stuff. Yeah, you should offer that. Like the way of like
a curator, right?
Yeah, like you should offer like service
to
do that.
Okay, that's like on my little bucket list. Like I want to do like maybe that, like an installation, do a music video set, like where I create a space and someone's just like there like doing their music video thing. And then there's show fields. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but they do installation work and they curate spaces. They're like a group of curators, and they like create fucking spaces all day. for people to visit. And theirs is more so like interactive art exhibits. But then people like go and do their Instagram shit there too. So.
Honestly, I think that's where I'm gonna end up heading.
That
honestly.
one was a big one. The fucking mic probably.
Have you noticed when I burp or not?
Nah.
She can't hear you.
No, it's because I go like this.
Mine have been like that,
but
I
she can't hear you. I could hear you.
Oh, you can hear it?
No, right now that you did it, but right now
I'm like a car from Too Fast and Furious with the nose and shit, like coming out the side, like.
it just
no,
like
mine are loud sometimes, but I just hope that like the people watching probably think it's like us or something.
But they burp too. Maybe they won't feel alone if we just embrace it.
I feel like it's part of the show, honestly. You know.
Yeah, I've burped on here so much.
Yeah, if we're drinking.
You're
drinking.
Drinking. It's like a given. I should have probably opened this one.
Man, what was I
But
gonna
you
say
should
about...
definitely like look into that, you know, or you know, online, you know how you can do like setups. I guess I don't know, the 3D, like pop up. You know, for like a clothing brand, and then just like do badass or like
shit,
do,
like pre-made shit. Or what do you mean?
No, like an idea, like a visual. Like for example, you know how Mania does like their Mania market. That'll be like our first pop up. What would be like a? But that's gonna be the first podcast pop up. Like, what would you think? Like, to you, what would be like an idea? We'll let her drink.
What would be your idea?
Like that. You see what I mean? Like
just literally creating this space there. Hang your shit. Like this is an inviting space, you know?
Is it? Do you feel like it?
I think so. The couches are nice. There's
IKEA.
We put welcome to This and Much More episode 33.
Got the 1800 bottle.
Welcome to This and Much
And you wanted to take a shot. There's, you know, some shot glasses up there.
Or why don't y'all take it to some like trippy shit and just get pillows and just set the whole floor on some pillow shit.
Or like have big ass pillows and then mini couches.
Yeah. And people sit with their knees up to you.
Yeah, like, what the fuck is good? Alright, cool, you know.
No, yeah, because we had a thought like for that one, Roland, you'll see what he built in the garage, right? But we want to do like a 1, 2, 3, like a 3 wall, all white. Like if it's this, bring one couch, the mics, and then just have people.
Exactly.
But we want to hang his exclusive rugs. We want to hang them on like the wall.
That's
like that.
the perfect time to pull out the fucking Rollie walls.
That's a pretty cool name.
Rollie walls. Mm-hmm. It's different.
Wait,
you don't like it?
Are you doing Donkey Boy?
Nah. I never even met him. I know who he is though. Donkey Mom too.
I was gonna say he's the one with the mom, right?
I went to Eighth Wonder one time. I think you had it set up.
But I swear, I thought who's doing his next one? I thought I saw your name on there. My bad. My change is changing. It's my bad. But dude, do that, and then the next Donkey Boy and Friends show that he does, do that, because the setup that he gives you, it's a trifold situation, but it's more, you would exhibit it the opposite way, not in a way that you would walk into. Yeah,
because that's how you did one time, right?
Yeah,
it was a while. No, not a while.
Well, yeah, I did Donkey. I think I did it. Yeah, like last year. I do the Donkey Mom ones because she does like all girl show.
Yeah, I went with Eric. You know Eric, right?
Yeah.
I went with him to one, and yeah, it was like an outside thing. So I think it was your art. It was like on the outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
a bunch of them were like that, right?
Yeah, they did one at the distillery, I think it is, and then the brewery. Mm-hmm. But it's the same setup. It's that trifold thing. But imagine y'all are doing Terry's thing, right? The Mania thing.
Yeah, that'll be our first.
So boom, exhibit that shit. Then if you get,
I should go crazy with that.
Go fucking nuts.
You should show her.
Do giant. Ooh, do like this type of shit, but like maybe spell out like in weird fucking letters, you know, the name of the show, This and That Much More. Did I say that right?
No, not at all.
This and much more.
This and much more.
Fuck, man, I'm sorry.
I might have to correct you on her.
Damn, I fucked up.
She called Robbie's thing.
Oh yeah, damn.
He G-checked me, so maybe this is like a ceremony.
And we refer you to another talk show, and you're like, just be careful, because she'll like say it
She
wrong.
like says things wrong. Fuck, I'm gonna say pothead brain. Fuck,
But you were saying
that's
about
like, yo, that's no disrespect, man. Like that, I fucked that up.
Nah, hell no.
You're
Okay.
literally
You know who
not
did
the
it too?
first one.
Erica did that shit too.
Yeah.
I have a clip.
Yeah, show her.
I'll show it to you right now. We're about to go on break. You wanna
Okay,
go on break?
we'll go on break real quick.
Peace.
And
guys. Oh,
oh,
no, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, and we are back with
So-
Roland interrupting me.
My bad. I was gonna ask, why the move to New York? I feel like I should have asked that like in the very
I
beginning.
know.
You were here talking about Harlem and shit, and you're like,
So I was painting. I've always wanted to live in New York. I danced in New York when I was 15. That was like my gift from my parents. And then I went and did an internship there when I turned 20 for dance. And I wanted to stay. And my mom's like, you have to go to school. You have to do all these things. I burped. And I always had New York on the back of my mind. Even growing up, I started dancing at 4 years old. So I wanted to be on Broadway. I wanted to do all these things. I can't sing. I can dance. I don't think I can act, you know? So you have to be like all these things, and you have to audition and do all this shit. Anyway, but New York always was on my mind. And then I went on a trip to New Orleans. I saw art in a window at this spot called Nouveau. And it was like a clothing store. And I had a homie that worked out of there. And I remember messaging him, and I'm like, how do people get their art in y'all's windows? I think it was like a Donald Duck or Daffy, I don't know. And they had a huge painting in there. And I was like, oh, shit. And at that time, I was doing the cartoon shit. And then I told my mom, what would y'all think if I moved to New York? And she was like, all you need to do is have a job. If you move, you need to have a job.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. And at the time I was living in College Station and working at AT&T. And I was like, how do I get to New York with this job? And they're like, after 1 year, you can transfer anywhere. Took my ass to New York like literally a month and a half later. You know, it's just like chunk deuce.
Were you scared did you know anybody in New York?
Not anyone solid, like solid as people, but it wasn't like, oh, I have a cousin there, like,
Yeah.
oh, my best friend. It was like, you know, friends that I made throughout my dancing career, and I had, you know, kept in contact, and I'm still really good friends with them now, but it was no one that I had initially like been like, oh, I'm gonna kind of like use your situation to kind of help not use it, but like see if you can help me in any way. No, I just went, and the first apartment that I was gonna live in was in Brooklyn, and it was this girl and this other girl, and they were on some like, I don't know, like they wanted to get like matching roommate tattoos, like upside down crosses and shit, and like they invited the blow man over and like all these crazy things. And I was like, man, I just got here. Like, this is like, I was ready to go home in that moment. And I remember my dad being like, your brother's flight leaves tomorrow. It's not too late to jump on and come home. And I was like, Easy, I'm not. My brother's name is Easy. I'm like, Easy, I'm not staying at this apartment. We're leaving. And we took all our luggage. And these girls wanted rent by Monday. It was Friday. I think I left on a Thursday. It was like Friday. It was like a Saturday, I think. And my brother was leaving, I think Sunday or Monday. Or I don't know what. My dad's, I feel like Saturday's ringing a bell though. He was leaving at some point, and I had every chance to get on that plane. We took all the luggage from that apartment. These girls wanted rent on Monday. I wasn't telling them that they didn't know at that point that I was not living with them. Like, I was not about to stay there. The room looked smaller than what it was. I can't even fit a dresser in here. That's a twin mattress. Like, where am I going to hang my clothes? Where am I going to paint? It was my big thing. So we had luggage, and we're walking around the city. And I think we went to Union Square and we were laying in the grass and I was like, we need to go eat. And we're like eating. And I'm like hitting up this realtor that they helped us out whenever I was interning there at 20. And the prices were just too much. And I was like, fuck, man. Boom, my mom calls me. She was like, Mandy, Mikey's going on tour. His apartment in Harlem is up for rent. You need to go over there. I just messaged him, head uptown. You need to go to Harlem. And I tell my brother, like, oh, we need to go uptown. There we go with our fucking our luggage going uptown. And I do remember a good friend of mine, when my brother, I couldn't move into that apartment until the 1st. So there was like a dead week where I was homeless in New York. And I stayed on one of my friend's couches that I had made friends with during my internship, Tori. And she was the shit, man. Like, took me in, you know, and let me sleep on her couch. And then I got into this apartment and Mikey let me sublet his place. And he's on Broadway doing amazing things. And I had a home. Like, finally at that point, it was like $850 a month, I think. And they're like, do you cook? Do you clean up after yourself? You know what a mop is? And I'm like, yeah. And if not, I'll fucking learn. No, but I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. I had lived with roommates in College Station. I wasn't tripping. But I was so happy I had a place to live because I was like, fuck, man. Like, these girls look like they gonna force me to get an upside down tattoo. My mom's gonna kill me. But that was my experience moving to New York. Was like, God really put me in a position of like, all right, bitch, I'm about to shake the fucking table on you. Like, you're gonna like be good. And he shook the fuck out of that table. I felt like I had no seat at that table. I had every opportunity to go home. Like, it just was a fucked up experience the first weekend I got there. And then luckily, like, my mom found that shit on Facebook. And
I mean, everything happens for a reason, right? Like,
yeah. And then 6 months later, boom, my dad passes away. I get fucking fired from work because I overextended my bereavement. I'm fucking walking dogs, hanging clothes at H&M 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. Like, I fucking hate it here. Sorry, I cussed a lot.
No, you're fine.
Started working at LG. Hated it there because I was like uptown area manager. Like, I had to go into every store and make sure they knew what LG was. LG's known for stoves and fridges. Why am I asking about LG phones? Like, no one's buying that shit, bruh. Like, no one cares that you can double tap it from the back and like do all these take pictures. Like, no one cares.
I have an LG phone, but okay.
You do not.
You care. You would have been the one person that cared on those trips because I was booted and scooted out of those stores. I hated that job. And on Valentine's Day, never had Valentine's in my life but myself. And I gave myself the most blessed gift of quitting that job.
Yeah.
I was miserable there. I made money, got paid every Wednesday, had benefits, had PTO, all that good shit, and I was miserable.
Yeah, that shit was fucking
Usually
whack.
that's how it happens, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like the
and
highest,
I prayed for that job. I was like, God, get me out of H&M. I fucking hate these mannequins. They staring at me. They ain't got no facial expression. I'm gonna punch this bitch. And I got out of there. He put me into a better paying job, but now you gotta walk your ass from 96th Street all the way to 231st, 32nd Street, whatever the hell that last store was on, in the Bronx. And you're going to get paid, but you're going to be hot. And I'm like, fuck, dude.
how long did you stay at that job?
9 months. Pregnancy gave birth to me quitting.
So you
like,
quitting? You gave birth to like you're quitting there.
Yes, because I was miserable. And it was like a job that you weren't micromanaged. Like, no one's actually, you're not in an office setting. Like, I just type shit on a laptop and like check in. But the amount of times they would call me throughout the day, like, leave me alone. Leave Brittany alone. That's how I felt. Like, I was miserable. I'm not meant to work for people. That's what I figured out a long time ago. Damn. Never burn bridges, though.
No, yeah, that's good. I was gonna ask you, how did you leave?
That LG job, they can, no. LG don't care about who's buying LG phones. I did not care about that job. I was chunking deuces like.
I'm about to go buy an iPhone.
Wait, you really have an LG?
No, he has an iPhone.
Oh. But like I don't burn bridges. I really try not to, and I do believe in like 2 week notice, like. But
No,
that job abused me, and when you abuse me, I don't care. I don't care, bitch. I'm quitting the day. It happened after a meeting. They went around the circle. Does anyone have anything to say? Nope. Okay, Amanda, I'm gonna have to contact you after this call. Okay. Boom, they end the call. They call me. Hey, you're a little off in today's meeting. Is there anything going on? And I'm like, yeah, there's a lot going on actually. And I hate this job and I'm quitting. Are you going to finish your shift today? Nope. What did you have last week? I put it in the Excel sheet. I'm out. Like, and it was like 9:45 is when the meeting ends. So by 10 a.m. I was like jobless. 2 weeks later, I'm walking around 14th Street, like Chelsea area, and I'm smoking a blunt, and I see a restaurant that says Dos Caminos, and I'm like, okay. Walk up in there, super stoned, and they hired me on the spot like 2 weeks later, and I was making like, I don't know, like 13 an hour as a hostess, and eventually I was making like 17 an hour because I got a super dope manager, and they were like, knew that I was in school. They were cool with that. Knew that I wanted to be an artist. So they were like, just, you know, making sure that I had my situation straight. And they'd just be like, don't forget us. If you ever pop off, don't forget us. And I'm like, I got you.
It kind of reminds me of Butch. You remember Butch from Fisk? I used to work as an electrician, but I was in school. I used to be an electrician, right? And then I was going to U of H, and then I was working at this other spot in the medical. ¿Cómo se llama?
The medical center.
Yeah, over there. And then I had a foreman, and then I talked to him before I got there, like, or whatever. The day I got there, I was like, look, I go to school 2 days out of the week type shit. I have a class, and I kind of have to leave work early, and they're like, it's cool. They would tell me like, oh, it's cool. And at one point he was like, you know what? I told him, I'm like, hey, I'm about to go. And he's like, you know what? You need to choose. Do you want to go to school or do you want to keep working? Because I can't keep doing this. And I'm like, well, I talked to you beforehand, you know? And then he's like, I don't know. The next day or the next week, I got transferred to another job site because he didn't want me there. And then I got transferred to George Bush Airport. And then I was working there. And then I talked to that foreman, and he looked more like mean, you know? He was like this. His name is Butch, you know, like he's like this.
It fit the character.
Yeah, you know. And he's like, and I'm like, he was like deep voice, big dude, and I was like, look, I go to school. I'm gonna finish school like in December. You know, if it's cool, like I gotta leave early a couple of days out of the week. And he's like, it's cool. And then I was so grateful for that. We gave him a bottle right after I graduated. I told him, I'm like, yo, I'll graduate today. He's like, what the fuck are you doing at work? Like, fucking go to your shit, you know? And then I went.
Oh, I remember.
And then we came back. And my parents had came back, and they brought bottles from Mexico. So I was like, the next day I was like, yo, I got something for you. And then he's like, what's up? And then I'm like, I got a bottle from Mexico, you know, tequila bottle or whatever. And he's like, damn, for what? And I'm like, because you let me go to school and shit, you know? Like, and it was cool because a lot of people look down upon that shit, you know, like in the labor shit, you know. But he was real cool with it. He let me finish school, and I don't know. So it kind of reminds me of that.
That
you know?
LG job was the same way, because whenever you had to renew contracts or something, and that's what that meeting was about, because you're basically you're on your own. You have to make sure these stores are selling LG products, whatever the hell it is. Yeah. And I wanted to finish school. And she was like, if you can figure out a schedule that lands on the weekend, then I'm sure that's something we can accommodate. And I'm like, well, bitch, you're basically telling me I can't go to school because I don't work weekends for y'all. Yeah. So you're like beating around the bush about telling me that I can't further my education because I got to meet your sales. You're bugging. I'm out. Yeah. February 14th. Yeah, like you. And then those cool managers come around like Butch. My manager,
Jesus. Shout out Butch, man.
Shout out Jesus.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever had something
I don't know. Nah. You know, nah. I don't know.
What were we gonna say?
No, I was gonna say one of your jobs because she was working at Whataburger like early on,
Oh yeah.
and she I would be on. It was when we were boyfriend girlfriend. I don't know why this has nothing to do with anything, but I remember we would talk late on the phone, and one time she was like falling asleep, and then I'm like she fell asleep, and I was like, "Yo, are you there? Hello?" And she's like, I'm making the gravy. I'm making the gravy," and I'm just like,
I would make the gravy.
I was like, "I'll talk to you tomorrow." I just hung up and shit. What the fuck?
Dude,
like
I would-
every job she's been at, she's like talked to me about it, like dreaming shit, you know?
Because I've dreamt about every
No,
job.
and those are the worst ones. That was AT&T. When I got transferred to AT&T in Times Square,
Yeah.
I went from sales support to the sales rep. So I had to start meeting goals. I didn't give a fuck if I was in the top 5 and people would be like, "I'm number 1." And I'm like, "Good for you, bitch. I'm number 1 in real life." Like, I don't give a fuck about AT&T. Their service sucks now.
No, yeah.
I got AT&T.
We have AT&T, but I did the door-to-door sales for AT&T.
Oh my God. They're just like,
It was so
they're miserable,
bad.
dude.
They treat you like
And they wanna
Jehovah's
do,
Witness
like-
and shit. Like,
I
They
got
wa-
called the cops one time. Like I didn't understand. I was like, when I went to the neighborhood, I remember I was like with this like my partner, and he would like knock it down like one side of the street, and I would do the other, right?
Yeah.
And then I had like this like this white guy being like, "There's no soliciting or whatever in this neighborhood," and da-da-da. Like he's like, "I'm gonna call the cops on you," and I told my partner or whatever, I was like,
Gosh.
do I look like I'm gonna rob his fucking house? Like, I don't understand. I'm offering him freaking
Amazing
for
internet.
letting him know it's available in his neighborhood, you know. But it was really bad. I hated.
And then
I hated
the
that.
upper management never understands that, like, and that was my problem. And then AT&T made me miserable. Like, it started from there, and they didn't give a
Who's your service?
AT&T. That's why I said AT&T sucks, but it is what it is. It's either them or Verizon.
We all need to go to Verizon.
Yeah.
I know they're better.
Well, hopefully
but they're more
this gets
expensive.
to a Verizon endorsement and
We've been waiting for a Michelob endorsement from like a long time
that
ago.
ass. Eventually.
write them an email. Did you write them an email yet?
No, we have.
That's where,
I'm
yeah.
not that crazy about it. Nah,
But
I'm crazy
imagine
about it.
them
That's all
sending.
you drink.
I have a whole ass
Imagine them
jacket.
sending
and
you
shit.
a case a month just because y'all fucking.
I got
drink
sent
Michelob.
a
That's
case
actually
of
pretty cool. I never
energy
thought about
drinks.
doing that.
That's how it happens. So that's
yeah,
how
he
you get
did.
those beer sponsors and
That's
shit.
true. That's true.
You just type up show them your fucking a minute reel of your podcast, and it's y'all like constantly drinking
Burping and
Michelob.
shit.
drinking.
Like,
So we can
Michelob.
lower the carbonation on them, bro, because we got a lot of burpers.
And then
We
you
burp.
write the email. Hey, this is where our podcast started. This is where we're at now. We talked to Chingo Bling, his homie, and commit. That's what they like to hear. And then boom, you get a case a month. Throw
Yeah.
me one.
That's happened to Rollie
Hard.
before though.
Ship me one in the mail.
All right, look. So we have like a couple minutes left. 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do like some hot takes type shit?
What does that mean?
What is?
I don't know. It's just like quick answers shit.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
All right.
because I have a bunch of other shit. You know,
Okay.
But
All right.
all right, first one. It's kind of on a serious note.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are your thoughts on the recent tragedies, like in New York? Because there was the bombing shit, and then there was the shooting shit, right? It's two different things. Like,
Well, from my understanding, like there, yeah, like some shit detonated like a day before or something, and that dude that threw the smoke bomb, I don't know. There's a lot of shit going on. Funny enough, I was on like a train, and there was a dude swinging a chain one time, and I wasn't scared, but I was like, I ain't gonna make eye contact with this fool. He's going crazy. It's really sad, like that whole situation that happened. But that all, you don't, that's all political to me, honestly. Like, we don't take mental health seriously, number one. Y'all invest so much in fucking MTA cops, hiring 1,500 cops to do what? To chase after people that are jumping turnstiles because they can't afford $3 fucking shit because y'all are hiking up rents because there's no fucking real estate, like, regulations on the housing. Like, no, everything boils. That's just a bigger fucking scale that I have emotions on. It's a tragedy. my heart goes out to everyone and all the victims, and I'm glad the guy was caught, but like it all boils down to me talking about politics, and I don't want to bring that onto the podcast and into this space, because I get real like fucking passionate about it. And but it really, I think everything boils down to mental health and us taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Point blank, period.
I mean, that's a big point. Like,
I feel like since it's such a big city, I feel like there's way more of that over there than any other place in the world, I think.
It's...
From what I know. I don't know. From
it's
outside looking in type shit.
It looks like that in a sense because we're condensed. You know, there's maybe like 1,000 people to every mile, where it's maybe 100 people to every mile for another city, you know, or even more. There's probably even more than that. I'm just throwing numbers out there, but I think it just looks worse that way because we're a big but condensed city.
Yeah. So another thing, okay, next thing, right? So what are like some key differences between Houston and New York? I feel like you might get this question a lot, but
okay, just give us like the first two that come to your head, to your mind.
It's busy, and there's lots of things. I'm never bored.
over there.
Never.
Do you think Houston is becoming a more like art type of city, or has it always been like that? It's becoming more.
It hasn't always been like that.
Yeah, it's becoming more like that.
Yeah,
right?
I feel like it's becoming more.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think so too, honestly. Does smoking make you more creative? Or
I'd probably have to go like 30 days without it and then try 30 days on and paint. Like do a little research. Because I can't remember the last time I haven't smoked.
Do you think you need it like every day?
That's a question for my doctor. Honestly, like, do you drink every day?
No, I drink a lot of energy drinks every day.
Yeah.
But I probably don't need it, but I feel like I do need it. Mentally, I feel like it's like a routine.
Consider this mental for me.
Yeah, I think that's what it is too.
Routine type
with
shit.
him, I think it's like I need an energy drink, and I'm like, you look like you're fully awake.
I'll be like, I need an energy drink.
I have a routine of like coffee and a blunt in the morning. I would say I don't need the coffee every day. I do need the blunt.
Okay, I mean it's like one of those it's a routine. That's what it is. Yeah. It's like the people that like, don't talk to me. I need my.
I will say coffee. Like I smoke more often because I'm smoking backwoods, and that has nicotine. I probably have a nicotine addiction. It's not that I need weed, and I smoke 10 blunts a day because weed make. It's like nah, half of that's I got a nicotine addiction. Fucking smoke backwoods. My bad.
Yeah, no, for you.
Yeah.
How did your name come about?
Yeah.
Little Giants, Powder Puff Football, Little Giants. The girl's name's Icebox. She's like trying to be like conform to be a cheerleader, and she's like, fuck that shit, I'm gonna play football. And that's what was on my name that I chose.
I have no idea what that is, honestly.
Did you talk about that with Rob's?
Yeah.
Okay, I was
Little
like,
Giants?
yeah, because he's whenever you said that, he was like, oh, Little Giants.
He started talking about the movie quote.
Like, yeah.
Oh,
and I was all like,
yeah.
he should have been a character in it.
Because he's very energetic, right?
Yeah. No, he's like just knew all the quotes. I'm like, oh shit.
Like last time I told him, I said it on a podcast, right?
That's fine.
I was like, man, he's very energetic. And then he came over and he's like, you think I'm like that for real? Like, you think I have a lot of energy? I'm like, hell yeah, bro. Like,
well, because Roland's very chill.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Roland's very like chill, you know. Yeah. So obviously him being very chill and him being very energetic.
But it's still energetic too, because it's like a conversation's going. But his is like he claps and he's like,
all right,
he gets you high.
Yeah, I love people like Rob.
Yeah, Rob is cool, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Rob, man.
Hell yeah. He's cool.
Let's see. What art form do you like best? So there's tattooing, there's like the physical shit, digital shit.
I'm not choosing. It's like asking what kid is your favorite kid.
Oh, I have
there
a
has
kid.
to be a favorite.
I don't have kids, so I wouldn't know. I can't choose. I like clay.
Clay?
I like sculpting shit. I like painting. I like spray paint. I can put it in order, but I like it all.
Have you ever done like clay earrings? They're
like polymer clay and shit? No, because I'm like very... If I'm not going to wear it, I don't want to sell it to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like... I probably won't wear like my giant faces on like my ears maybe for like a photo shoot if like I was dressed that way, but I'm not gonna make you wear it on your ears, you know?
You can keep recording. I'm gonna just like boom boom.
Okay.
It's just like
a
couple minutes later. Um. Okay, like, would the clay stuff be under like hobbies? Because I have like, what are your any hobbies that you have
I
other
would
than art, like art shit?
I would say my hobby is the tattooing is a hobby that I'm happy to get paid for,
Yeah.
because it's nothing that I want to put as a title on myself. I'm an artist. Everything's like an umbrella, so it falls under that. But I'm not gonna call myself like a tattoo artist or. I mean, I guess if like it boiled down to like someone coming at me for a tattoo situation and I had to say I'm a tattoo artist, then yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't know, clay.
Clay shit. What about parent support? Is it there?
Absolutely.
That's good.
Shout out to your
150,000
parents.
cajillion %. Hell yeah.
That's fire.
Lucky. I'm very blessed.
No, yeah. Well, I kind of want to touch on that because I feel like it is very important, especially like in the art world. I feel like parents, well, Hispanic parents maybe, don't see it like as a future, like in any of their kids' futures type shit. You know, like, or what do you think?
So my mom, on my 4th birthday, I blew out candles in in like a little dance outfit, and my mom took me to dance class right after. So I feel like she kind of inserted me into the art world, like visual performative arts. Because she wanted me to have something to do. My brother was in baseball, basketball, football, and all that shit. But I don't think she ever thought it was going to flourish into something like this. My mom just wanted me to do something.
Yeah.
And then when I started making money off of this, she was like, don't do shit for free. And then she has her business, Cositas Balicita, and she makes bread, you know? So she's like a hustler, period.
Wait, she has like her own business?
Yeah, small business. She was doing like Marco Polo's pop-ups and shit. And she does like a lot of craft shows and makes shit from scratch. So she's a businesswoman, like makes bread, you know? So she does not want to see me not capitalize off of like my talents and whatever, my creativity. But no. Yeah.
Was she born here or in Mexico?
No, she was born in South Texas in Kingsville.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. But
you wouldn't be considered. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mexican American.
Yeah, she's like 2nd generation.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Yeah. So I would be 2nd generation.
No,
right?
baby, you're first. Your parents were born in Mexico.
Oh shit, I'm tripping.
Yeah, I'm saying because I feel like since you're 2nd generation,
she's more understanding of
understands
it.
more.
But it's crazy that it's like you would think, you know, but it's like it was always like my brother went to Texas A&M. Like I think she saw me doing something way more traditional,
Professional
like
shit, like
yeah, like going to school, like doing a degree that's gonna get me into an office and have me somewhere secure, and like get married and have the kids, and you know, like no, she's still that traditional.
It's
it's inside of her, you know, and so that's still like she hates that I have tattoos. I will never hear the end of it. She's like, you know, when I die, like, you know, why can't you just wait until I'm like not on earth anymore? And like you're never gonna get a husband.
She has like a whole ass arm.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, fuck, mom. But then now, like, she's seeing I'm doing tattooing, and it's like, I want my mom's approval. Like, I want her to be proud of me, and don't get me all choked up now. But like, she sees that I'm doing the tattooing, and you know, like the other day she's driving, I'm with her, and she's like, you know, like you're really good with the tattooing, and like, you know, you're there, like you need a charge, like you need to put a price on it already. And to hear my mom say that about something, she's always proud of me. Like she always, you know, boosts my like my ego and my confidence, and she does that. But to hear her like just be casually on a car ride home and me not reading it on Facebook and her just tell me, I still get that like that tough like Mexican motherly love where they're like,
I know what you mean,
you
though.
know,
I think
like,
it's like she was like, you know, maybe your grandparents, you know, raised her a certain way, so
yeah, she was raised by her grandmother.
Oh, okay, so she probably still has that in her that is like on the traditional side of it, because like honestly, I was raised by my grandparents too, right? So I feel like my relationship with my mom was like really bad growing up, and like I feel like until we got married is when it was like okay, like it was good, like it just got fucking good. But I feel like if my grandparents passed away, so I feel like if my grandparents were to be alive, I don't think they would understand like this podcast, like my grandpa was like a businessman, but I think he'd be like
he probably I feel like he probably would think of me as like what the
Or
fuck
like
is he doing type
my
shit.
grandma, she's like I'm so proud of you, mija, but I don't know what the hell you're doing. Like
I think that would have been my grandma.
Yeah.
My grandpa was very like a business, money, let's make money. So I feel like he'd be like, why are you doing that if it's not making you money? But again, I don't know, it might have been different.
That's still my mom. Like sometimes I'm like creating things out of the joy of it, and she's like, did somebody order that?
Yeah.
Or like, did you sell that? Or like, are you gonna sell? I'm like, can I just make something? Because I can. Like, it ain't all about the money. It'd be nice. I mean, if someone makes an offer, but you see what I mean? She's a business-minded but creative individual.
But I think maybe it's just because she don't want to see you struggle.
She doesn't.
Yeah.
And if she watches it instead and hears me say like, maybe I haven't eaten in 2 days because I'm upset.
I was gonna
like, she'll probably drop dead and be like, what the fuck? Like, no.
We got some food for you if you want it.
No.
Or you're like eating.
I was gonna tell you that like when you said that I was wondering like, man, I really wonder if like her parents like know all the like hardships that she went through.
Like, are they like knowing of that? Like,
no, she just said they're not.
I'm like, I feel like
they're not. Oh, I'm tripping.
yeah,
I'm tripping.
like I'm not. I mean, come on, like I'm still an adult. Like I gotta Man,
I
if
feel
this
like-
is boiling down to if I eat every day, I eat every day.
No.
Nah, but there have been hard times.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like that's what
you don't want to
anything,
ask your
we've-
parents. There's times you ask your parents for help. Like my mom's like, if you can't make it out there, like you just need to move home. You don't want to hear that every time you're fucking struggling.
You don't need that negativity.
In a way, you want to make it where
show them.
you're showing them like. Not that you don't need them, but that you don't need them. It's like
I'm independent. I got
it's a struggle, and you're getting through all these fucking struggles and shit like by yourself.
I'm going on 7 years in New York this June. I've had every fucking opportunity to move home.
Yeah,
but you didn't,
and I haven't, and I won't.
And it's crazy because I see a lot of like posts and shit like this is what you get in New York for so much money, and I'm just like, I feel like I would never make it in New York type shit. So like when I see you out there and shit, I'm just like, damn, like.
But like y'all have a, your family situation there. Mine's different out there.
Oh yeah.
I'm living with 3 grown men. It's 3's company, 4's company. Out there, like I don't have that. Oh, I come home to an apartment where I'm by myself, fucking titties out, ass out. Like I do whatever the fuck I want. One day, that's what I'm working towards. But like I come home to Texas and I see that. I see my friends in nice houses, the cars, the this and the that. So it's like you may not make it out there the way you're doing it here, but you'll make it out there.
It's like opportunities out there and shit. Like I feel.
No, yeah, but that's just like it's everywhere, But it just depends the situation you want to put yourself in while you're there.
You got to think about New York's been that. New York was that the birthplace for like industrial shit. Like everything just kind of came out of there and trickled down to what it is now. And Houston's getting there. Houston's known for oil and like, we're known for different shit. It was the South. And if we get back to that historical thing, but now on some art shit, like there's a renaissance happening. Like people are really popping off. Pop-ups are happening. People are doing shows. People are doing exhibitions. So, period.
I was gonna get my phone.
Blowing up and shit on the floor. Fucking
But yeah.
Any shout outs you want to give out?
My mother.
No, shout out
Shout
Mama
out to my
Icebox.
moms.
Shout out her business.
No, for real.
Does she have an Instagram?
Yeah, at Cositas by Lisita. She makes memory rosaries. So like if you have a loved one that passes, you send her a picture and she like makes rosaries by hand, like beads them together. She really kind of does it all. Actually,
That's hard.
yeah, she does a whole list of things. And my dad, Smiley, he's lit. He got me into doodling and drawing and stuff. And
Well, we
That's
could
hard.
add.
And my brother start going down the hole.
I was gonna say we could add your Instagram and your mom's. If
Yeah,
anybody's
do that.
interested.
Yeah, for
She's
sure.
super dope. Like she makes so many things, and it's more so for like she makes a lot of baby stuff, like cute little, I don't know, items and yeah. But she did all my merch.
That's dope.
Badass. So if anything, you will find your Instagram on our description. Her mom's, if y'all want to go like take a look and give her a follow. Other than that,
Any upcoming projects that you're working on or shows or anything?
I'm like burping on here, but actually, I want to start curating an animated exhibition where you just walk into that space and kind of what I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, earlier.
But not anything in the next month or two. No, I mean if I do, it'll be on Instagram.
yeah. So make sure what's your Instagram?
AQ Icebox.
Thank you, Icebox.
So make sure y'all give her a follow. Like I said, everything will be in the description below. Thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, and
I'm all
like.
looking at the
Give a
camera.
like. Yo, follow our TikToks. I'm trying to blow that
Oh,
shit
yeah,
up.
TikTok.
Oh, so y'all have TikTok?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I have
It's
to
just a bunch of like
I
clips.
don't get
and
on
shit,
there
like-
often, but I need to get on.
We're trying to blow that shit up. You know, the Instagram, like she mentioned, YouTube. We need the subscriptions. I need to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. So that's my goal. She doesn't think I'm gonna do it. We're gonna
Not
do
that
it,
we're. I just feel
but
like realistically.
I'm, like,
I think,
trying.
you know,
1,000 by the end of the year,
but
doable.
we're at 200.
we're at
You got
200.
2 more right here. I'm gonna tell my mom and dad. That's 2 more.
Yo,
My
we
brother.
need them. We need them.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
you.
Because 50% of the people that watch us aren't subscribed. So just make sure y'all
That's
subscribe.
crazy, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we get a lot, like our watch hours, we're supposed to get to like 4K. We're probably like almost at 2K.
We're
you
probably
know?
halfway there.
Yeah.
Probably.
But our subscribers is like 50% of people watching is like not subscribed. So just subscribe.
Yeah, I mean it's not anything that like
It's not
debilitates
that
your
hard.
feet or something.
Yeah,
no.
it's not that hard.
All
That's
right,
true.
well you
So-
got it.
But
All right.
other
Thank
than
y'all
that,
for watching.
I'm one of the 50%. Fuck, I've watched
Damn.
before. My mind just went.
I'm about to throw the whole episode
Yeah,
away.
I'm throwing this mic away. I'm fucking fraudulent out here.
All right.
All right,
Appreciate y'all
peace out.
watching.
Oh,
Peace.
thank you. Thank
That's
you.
it.